Good evening. On behalf of the South Gwinnett High School Drumline, Blue Ice, we thank you for this invitation on behalf of our proud and esteemed principal, Dr. Rodney Jordan, our suave interim Superintendent, Mr. Al Taylor, and our Regional Superintendent, Keith Thompson. My name is Shawan Baptiste. I serve as the Director of Bands. We have percussion instructor, Mr. Cortez Harris. We have percussion instructor, Daryl Johnson. We are thrilled to have opened this program up for you today. Give it up for the Blue Ice Drumline. Thank you so much. Paying homage to our commissioner, Commissioner Watkins. Thank you for always your support. The South Gwinnett High School just traveled to Chicago, Illinois for the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and we had an amazing time, and we're actually about to leave out because we're preparing to go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. We will be representing the state of Georgia for you all tonight. It's been such a pleasure. Chair Lady Hendricks, we appreciate this invite for you. Thank you so much. So listen, we are amazed. Anytime you need our support, we are here for you. Thank you, and thank you. Give it up for Blue Ice Drumline, South Gwinnett High School.
She be beautiful like the sunrise over the ocean on a cloudy day. Strong like a single mother, 5 kids, no job, but still knows how to pray. She be confident like she know when to speak and when not to speak. Intelligent like she holding several degrees. Classy like every time we speak we should be sipping tea. She be my sister, girl. My girl, if you need to talk, you know I got you, girl. Down to earth so she never looks down on others around her. She be a fighter like Asada Shakur. She be elated every time she can learn just a little bit more. Resilient like 1970s afros, fresh like 1980s Adidas shell toes. She be ATL's Grady, baby. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Sunday morning, sweet Sadie. Powerful yet humble, fearless yet warm. She be Maya Angelou's phenomenal woman, inspirational like Mahalia Jackson's. What a friend we have in Jesus. She be your motivator, not your hater, because she celebrates others' success. Sisterhood manifested. She be committed to her hopes and dreams like Michelle Obama to the president's team. She be loving, she be shining, she be bright. An overachiever at times, but still knows when to hop on a flight, never met a stranger. Free-spirited, she be passionate about people genuinely. She be what black girls rock is all about. She be that whisper in your ear, don't ever stop swimming, don't ever doubt. She be that fuel to your fire when you're running low on energy. She be everything many aspire to be. She be that sense of humor in a crowded room that puts everyone at ease, that southern charm that makes you smile when her shoulder is exactly what you need. She be me, she be you, she be we, she be us. Beautiful, intelligent, confident, classy black woman. She.
What an amazing way to start this evening. You guys give Sashay Dance Team, South Gwinnett, Cosmic Boom Band, and Soul Scribe a huge round of applause. That was phenomenal. Good evening, everyone. I'm Miriam Nafis, Director of Civic Engagement and Social Impact, and welcome to our Black History Month Heritage Night celebration. This year is a monumental one. We are marking a century of Black commemorations, celebrating 100 years since Dr. Carter G. Woodson first spoke into existence a vision that has become a global movement of honor, reflection, and pride. In Gwinnett, we honor this centennial by looking at the legacies built right here in our own backyard. But tonight is more than just looking back. It's about celebrating excellence, resiliency, and the unity that define Gwinnett today. This evening is a tribute to these connections, and it is made possible by the dedicated leaders who champion Gwinnett every day. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the officials who are here with us to mark this milestone. Starting with our Board of Commissioners, Chairwoman Nicole Love Hendrickson. District 1, Commissioner Kirkland Carden. District 2, Commissioner Benku. District 3, Commissioner Jasper Watkins III. District 4, Commissioner Matthew Holcamp. We have several of our state, county, and city elected officials joining us tonight. Please raise your hands to be acknowledged. I'd also like to recognize County Administrator Glenn Stevens, who I saw up there not too long ago, and Deputy County Administrators. If you are here, please raise your hands to be acknowledged. We have several of our county department directors joining us as well. Please raise your hands to be acknowledged. Thank you all for being here tonight. To begin the evening, please help me welcome a leader who embodies the very history we celebrate tonight. The first African-American woman to serve as chair for Gwinnett County. Chairwoman Nicole Love Hendrickson is a lifelong public servant and has been recognized throughout Metro Atlanta and the state of Georgia as a trailblazer and named 2026 Most Influential Georgians by Georgia Trend. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much. And good evening and happy Black History Month, everyone. And I have to give a special shout out to Miriam Nafis and the entire team for organizing, which I believe is probably a record-breaking turnout for our annual Black History Month program. So please give it up to Miriam and team. Well, again, welcome. I am Nicole Love Hendrickson, and I have the privilege of serving as the chairwoman for the Gwinnett County Board of Commissioners. Again, I want to say thank you to the Civic Engagement and Social Impact Division for your thoughtful leadership in creating spaces where community, culture, and history meet. And thank you to the incredible vendors and performers who remind us that Black history is not only something we remember, it is something we experience. And how about the cosmic boom? Let's give it up. Talk about bringing the house down. And I almost thought the young ladies were gonna bring the stage down. But hey, we still standing. That goes to show how strong we are. We will always stand. But this year marks 100 years of formal Black history commemorations. 100 years ago, historian Dr. Carter G. Woodson launched what was then called Negro History Week. At the time, he was pushed back against a nation that deliberately erased Black contributions from its narrative. He understood something powerful. If a people's history is ignored, their humanity can be ignored too. A century later, what began as a week has become a global observance. But the question before us tonight is not just how far we've come, it is what this 100 years represents. 100 years represents resilience in the face of exclusion. It represents brilliance in the face of barriers. It represents generations who built, created, organized, and led, often without recognition, but never without impact. And here in Gwinnett County, the most diverse county in the state of Georgia and in the country, that legacy is alive and well. But we also gather in a moment of complexity. We are living in a time when conversations about history, race, equity, and belonging are debated more fiercely than they have ever been in decades. We see disparities that persist in wealth, health, and opportunity. We see divisions amplified in ways that test our unity. And yet, we also see unprecedented representation. We see doors that once seemed permanently closed now open. We see young people who are unapologetically brilliant, innovative, and determined. Progress is real. but so is the work that remains. 100 years reminds us that change does not happen overnight. It happens because ordinary people decide to do extraordinary things consistently over time. And as the daughter of a veteran who dedicated his life to service, I was raised to believe that responsibility is not optional, it is inherited. Each generation receives the baton and must decide whether to run forward or stand still. And when I look at my son, I don't just wonder what heights he'll reach. I think about the responsibility we carry to make sure his path is wider, fairer, and stronger than the one before him. That is what honoring Black history truly means. It means remembering that our ancestors endured so that we could lead. It means recognizing that representation is not symbolic, it's structural. It means ensuring that in Gwinnett, diversity is not just something we celebrate in February, it's something we protect and invest in every day. Because Black history is American history. Black history is American history. It is Georgia history, it is Gwinnett history, and it is still being written by all of us in this room. So tonight we celebrate, we reflect, and we recommit ourselves to building a county where every child, regardless of race, background, or zip code, can thrive. And it is in that spirit that I bring forward a proclamation. And rather than reading each clause in its entirety, let me summarize its intent. And I'm going to ask Miriam to come up to accept this proclamation. So if you can hold this. This proclamation recognizes the 100th anniversary of Black history commemorations first established by Dr. Carter G. Woodson in 1926. It affirms the national 2026 theme, A Century of Black Commemorations, and acknowledges the tireless efforts of Black Americans to preserve identity, culture, and community across generations. And importantly, it honors the legacy being built right here in Gwinnett County by leaders, educators, entrepreneurs, families, and young people who continue to shape our future every single day. Now, therefore, I, Nicole Love Hendrickson, on behalf of the Gwinnett County Board of Commissioners, do hereby designate February 2026 as Black History Month in Gwinnett County. As we honor the heritage, culture, and enduring contributions that define our shared history, I thank you, and may we continue writing that history together. And if I may ask our Board of Commissioners to please come up for a photo with the proclamation, and also our civic engagement team as well.
Oh, Kira is running. She's literally running. Okay.
And now I will turn it over to District 1 Commissioner Kirkland Carden.
Good evening. Are y'all doing well tonight? Y'all look well. Yeah, happy Black History Month to you all. Give yourself a round of applause. Good-looking group of people. In keeping with tonight's theme of trailblazers, I do want to recognize some of the trailblazers here in Gwinnett County, our organization. We have a lot of historic firsts in our administration, so bear with me. I do want to recognize Chief J.D. McClure, our police chief, Fred Chiefus, our fire chief, Daryl Johnson, our warden at corrections, Ron Adderley, support services, Russell Royal at Financial Services. Give him a round of applause. He's the money man. Dorothy Parks at IT Services, Chris Minor at Parks and Recreations, and Adrian McAllister. If it were not for these people, these important trailblazers that we work with on a regular basis, we would not be able to do the important work of doing the business of Gwinnett County, Georgia. So please give them all a huge round of applause. Now, as I said before, happy Black History Month, Gwinnett. As we gather to celebrate the achievements of African Americans, we must also confront the challenges that persist within our community. It's essential we not only honor our history, but also actively fight to preserve it in the face of ongoing threats. For over centuries, we have dedicated this, not centuries, only a century, I'm sorry. I'm getting too excited, it's the coffee. We have dedicated this month to recognize the trailblazers who have shaped our nation. From the profound scholarships of Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black History Month, to the tireless activism and political work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The influence of these historic figures mirrors our potential today. They faced immense obstacles in their time, and their stories inspire us to rise against the challenges we face. Unfortunately, we find ourselves at a critical juncture in our nation's dialogue about race and history. Across this country, there are coordinated efforts to sanitize our education systems in attempts to erase or simply ignore our rich history and culture, our heritage, from the narrative, often labeling such concepts as divisive, indoctrination, or woke. Some of these terms you may have heard before. Last month, the National Park Service removed the names of 9 enslaved people at the home of President George Washington's house in Philadelphia to remove any reference to slavery at that National Museum. For 2026, the federal government removed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Juneteenth from the National Park Service for the fee-free entry days, replacing them with President Donald Trump's birthday. For those who don't know, June 14th. Now, these actions aren't just an attack on the facts and history. It's an attempt to silence the stories that connect us with our past and help inform or guide our future. To the young people in the room tonight, I'm speaking directly to you. I want you to know this. History is a powerful tool. It offers us insight into our struggle and our victories. Heroism takes many forms, and your voices matter immensely, now more than ever. You are the seeds of leadership. I see your creativity, passion, and resolve to build a more just and equitable society. What I admire about this group of young people the most is they're not just waiting around to make a difference. They're seizing the moment. They are the change. What ignites your passion? Pursue it fully and with purpose. Advocate for the inclusion of Black History Month in your schools. Share your stories with your friends and engage in discussions that challenge the status quo. Every small action contributes to a greater movement of empowerment and understanding. And I also challenge you to leverage technology. I'm an older millennial, so I'm sure you know how to use technology in a creative way to tell your story. In closing, let us reflect on the words of the late civil rights leader, John Lewis, who said, "Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in some good trouble, necessary trouble. May we continue to raise our voice with courage and conviction, ensuring that Black History Month not only remembered, but ignited in our national conscience." Thank you again for being here tonight. Let us continue this important conversation. And now I would like to hand it over to the Vice Chair of the Gwinnett County Board of Commissioners, District 2 Commissioner Ben Coop.
Thank you, Commissioner Cardin. Good evening, everyone. When we talk about a century of Black commemorations, we're also talking about a century of advocacy. True progress requires us to step into roles where we can shape the policies that impact our most vulnerable community members. I'm a huge supporter of Gwinnett residents getting involved with local government committees and advisory groups where you can provide decision makers with your unique perspectives. Each voice truly does matter and can play a vital role in the future of Gwinnett. One of the best ways to get involved in these groups for Gwinnett County is to first complete the Gwinnett 101 Citizens Academy. Gwinnett 101 gives residents a firm foundational understanding of how county government works, and it helps you learn where your expertise can benefit our community. Knowledge is power, and the founders of Black History Month understood that participation and representation go hand in hand. Today, we see those values alive and well across Gwinnett and our great nation. We see students and residents coming together, standing up for their beliefs, and demanding a seat at the table. Whether it's advocating for yourself or others, your involvement is what drives progress forward. Our history shows that when we organize and lead with integrity, we create a community where everyone can truly thrive. Now I'll pass it off to District 3 Commissioner Jasper Watkins.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to give it up for the band. I mean, these young people, you don't realize. Professor Baptiste and the Cosmic Boom, understand something about the band. Being a former drum major when I was in high school, it takes a lot for these young people to do what they did. Think about the implications of education with that. The memory, the history that they have to remember these songs, the rhythm, math, geometry, the way they have to think about the field that they're on in their minds in order to make sure that they step off right. The notes, you may think percussions are not notes, but they are. They're rhythm. And these young people have to learn that, and everything you saw here tonight was by memory. And they can do it again tomorrow in a heartbeat. That's our future. Those are our leaders. And I'm so proud of them that they're in District 3. I know. So tonight, we recognize spaces where African Americans had built themselves to learn, reflect, and celebrate for generations. For more than a century, we've created illusions of freedom and advancement through historically Black colleges and universities, Black churches, organizations, and the illustrious Divine Nine. I want to say, as a proud graduate of Florida A&M University and a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, I can personally speak to the power of having these safe spaces of support, scholarship, and growth. To understand how far we've come in this last century, let's just look at Howard University. I kind of said Florida A&M University, but we're going to look at Howard University. For the first 59 years, Howard was led exclusively by white ministers. But in 1926, exactly 100 years ago, the tide shifted when Mordecai Johnson was elected as the university's 11th president. He became the first African American to lead Howard, proving that we are the best stewards of our own stories and our own institutions. That same spirit of ownership is alive right here tonight in Gwinnett County. We honor our own by developing public spaces dedicated to the county's significant Black history, like the Hooper Wendrick themed library. What was once, just give it up for Hooper Wendrick. What was once only a public high school for Black students in Gwinnett County school system now stands a library and a museum with exhibit spotlights of stories, accomplishments, memorabilia related to the school and its people. Our preservation of Black culture ensures that celebrations continue for centuries to come. I'm honored to reach this milestone with you all here tonight. And I can't remiss of being on an airplane and talking to someone, and they mentioned to me, why do y'all have Black history? I said, well, you gotta understand that Black history is American history. So that's why we have it. And now, I'll turn it over to District 4 Commissioner Matthew Holcamp.
Thank you, Commissioner Watkins. Good evening, everyone. As we approach the 250th anniversary of our nation, we must always acknowledge the African American history is deeply embedded in our nation's history. From the agriculture that built our economy to the business owners driving innovation today, Gwinnett's African American community is an essential part of our success. In 1976, during the United States bicentennial, President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month. He urged all Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area and endeavor. In Gwinnett County, we take that charge seriously. We honor the entrepreneurs, the educators, the pioneers who've helped our county become the community where everyone thrives. Thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate this century of achievement and the bright future we're building together. Happy Black History Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman Hendrickson and our Board of Commissioners. As we reflect on this century of commemorations, we are reminded that history is more than just a series of dates. It is an ongoing story of wisdom, love, and leadership sustained by endurance and faith. To help us appreciate the significance of this 100-year milestone, we are honored to welcome a distinguished scholar whose life work is devoted to advancing the Black intellectual tradition. He joins us from Morehouse College, an institution that has shaped the most influential thinkers for over 150 years. At Morehouse, he is a professor of philosophy and the director of freshman and senior academic success. He serves as a vital link between the legacy of those who come before us and the responsibilities we bear for the future, reminding us that safeguarding our history is essential to preserving our democracy. Please help me welcome our 2026 keynote speaker, Dr. Ilya Davis. Thank you.
Good evening. Oh, there are more people here now. Thank you so much. I have to thank my new friends, Miriam and where's Kiara? I was looking for her. She's somewhere working diligently to make this program better than anyone could have ever imagined. I thank you all so much. I flew in from Atlanta, and having grown up in Atlanta and never really having spent any time in Gwinnett, this was indeed a ride. I was trying to wake up while I was sitting, but this is beautiful. This is a beautiful area. I left Atlanta years ago for graduate school and returned, and when I came back, there were fewer Black people in Atlanta than when I left. I was just telling her when I left, when I was a student in Atlanta, there were probably 31, 32 high schools. And now I see you all have usurped that. Now we have about 12 or 13 high schools in Atlanta. And I literally live right behind Booker T. Washington High School now. So it's nice to see the development without ultra gentrification. I like it when people choose to live where they want to live instead of being forced. But be that as it may, I am so excited to be here. I really, really, really do love Black people. There's so many things we do that I think a lot of people miss. So I would be remiss if I didn't let everyone know Carter G. Woodson, a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. We thank you for that. Yeah, see, I knew the bros was here. I knew it. I heard somebody mention something else earlier, but I wanted to make sure that we were clear about how this works. On the other side, I heard reference made to probably the greatest university in the country, Howard. But listen, Howard University. I went to Morehouse College. I attended Morehouse College. Why, you might say, do I think Howard University is the greatest university? Because the first black president attended Morehouse College. Amen, amen. And we always tell our Howard friends, of course it's a great institution. That's what we do at Morehouse. We create great institutions. And not only that, he was president for 34 years of Howard. So we always tell our Howard friends, just say thank you and keep moving. Right? So that's why, love being black. It's just, we can do this all night, trust me, all night long. But it is a wonderful honor to be here. I promise to be as short as I can, regardless of how long it may take. I wish to just share ideas that I've been having because it is very difficult to account for the phenomena that we've been experiencing in a year. And I would revert to the year as a culmination of 400 years. So I'm not taken aback. I'm not surprised. Oftentimes, as we know, it's not about history repeating itself. The fundamental problem here is there has been no mitigating circumstances to overwhelm these types of circumstances so they won't repeat. And so what we've done now is found ourselves again in a situation that we could have forestalled if we just did what we needed to do. And so part of what I would like to talk about is, where are we? Again, one of my dear Morehouse brothers, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous text, where do we go from here? And I often fight with my students about it because I critique the title. It's not about where we go from here, it's what do we do now so that there may be a here for others later. That we must somehow figure out how we provide resources and never reap those benefits. How do I give to the next generation never benefiting from that work? How do I submit myself to the love, the care, the respect of others such that I do what I am supposed to do irrespective of any accoutrements that may come in doing them? So it's very difficult for a lot of us to give and not see the reward, the outcome. I know there's a certain religious sensibility where you talk about heaven and hell, and I tell my students, if I removed heaven and hell, would you still love me? Would you still care for the homeless? Would you still look out for the LGBTQ plus brothers and sisters who die of suicide at the highest rate in our society? I mean, what do you leave the next generation? So that leads me to an analysis. Teaching philosophy, I have to refer to one of my favorite, Friedrich Nietzsche, does a beautiful job of trying to account for how is it that we have given up so quickly. He has two notions. One is a sense of a disorientation where it is no longer believed that there is some overarching moral value in the world, that you lose a sense of commitment to higher ideals. And so you decide, I give up. This is what we call nihilism, an absolute nothingness to life. But then there's another, and I think black folk understand this profoundly. It's called despair. The way he understands despair is there are universal values. You observe these universal values. The problem is you cannot engage them. They have been cut off, precluded, put in a situation where you can only observe the good of living and never live it. And I always think about this when I think about the brothers and sisters, particularly in the city of Atlanta where I live. When I walk past a homeless woman who appears to have no other option but to freeze in 15-degree weather, as if we don't care, as if we call ourselves civilized, and what she is going through, that we are not somehow committed to mitigating, to standing in the gap for her. But this notion of despair is where I think we stand right now historically. The idea that we know of greater possibilities, but you cannot engage them. They're so far-fetched for you. W.B. Du Bois in The Souls of Black Folk, on the second page of that text, refers to walls so high that it overwhelms the youth. They can see the other side, but they can't climb the walls. That the sky for them is not so blue. It's a blue sky that we interpret as possibility. the ability to overcome difficulty. And now as we sit here at this historic moment, it's historic only because, again, we could have prevented it if we had only understood what was at stake. And what was at stake was our humanity. Fundamental to what it means to be a human being has been lost. We've deferred to the mechanisms of the modern day. We're more excited about artificial intelligence than we are about human intelligence. I try to tell my students, I said, this is the reason why I believe artificial intelligence is playing such a large role in our lives. Once the experts decided that they could no longer figure out this thing about being human, they quit and went to technology. You gave up on the human. Being human is extremely difficult. It's capricious. It changes it with the wind. And these experts decided we can't say anything definitively. We don't know when they care, why they care, how they care. But guess what? I can create my own Frankenstein. I can imbue into structures what I want them to do, what I want them to say. So now we're celebrating this the same way, and I must admit my age, the same way we did about computers. Many of you who are close to my age, I'm 60 years old, you remember when computers hit the stage? I never had a computer in college. When they came, I used to just sit there and just watch the colors on the screen for a while, like amazed. It's not TV, and I can control it with these buttons. We have engaged again in the trinkets of life without the substance of life coming along with it. So now we think we can create human intelligence, again, to be at our beck and call. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. Whereas before, the questions were posed and you never knew the possibility of an answer because it was imbued in a human life. The ability to critique ourselves, that's gone away. You can make a computer love you like no one else. One of my students just did a beautiful, Spelman sister did a beautiful presentation on the fact that many of you older people don't realize that the youth have engaged artificial intelligence as a means to reinforce their beliefs about themselves. They never have open critique. So now the narcissism has overwhelmed them. They can sit in front of a computer, ask it questions about themselves, and all the answers are positive. No critique, no analysis of how they might be better. So this scares me. It scares me as a college professor because I look in the faces of black men that I expect to be better humans than men. I tell them, whatever a man is, work that out on your own time. We're trying to cultivate humanity. How do you extend your love and your care and respect for others, especially when you don't believe the same thing? Critique me, brothers, I tell them. I need to be critiqued. I'm frail. I falter. I make mistakes. Point them out. See, we've gotten to a point now where we no longer respect disagreement. We admire yes people, yes men, yes women. This is not going to make for the best democracy. Democracy fundamentally functions under disagreement. I don't need you to agree with me. I need you to love me, care for me, respect me enough to disagree with me, to tell me I'm wrong, to tell me I should have done otherwise. This is the reason why this democracy is collapsing. It is fundamentally grounded in yes, sir, yes, ma'am. What do you want? I'll do it. I'll sacrifice. And we lose a fundamental sense of integrity. One thing, again, back to this notion of despair, we have a long tradition, black folk have a long, profound tradition of responding to what I will now refer to as the absurd. There are many ways philosophers talk about absurdity. One way is frustrated desires and aspirations. You know, you wake up every day with the hope of being better than the day before. You work a job that you begrudgingly go to every day. Friday, I tell my students, I said, do you realize why people go and get drunk on Friday? I said, do you understand? I said, we must be compassionate about this because they have become overwhelmed by the drudgery and the mundane experience of getting up, going to work, getting up, going to work. Where do they begin to live? When do you get to sit down and wrestle with Toni Morrison's Beloved and ask a question about how best to cultivate my humanity in light of the possibility that your own life becomes a sacrifice for everyone else? How do you then wrestle with James Baldwin, who literally will ask you, if I am a nigger, it must mean you need one. That's one of the most brilliant quotes that man ever made. I have to tell my students, I said, do you realize what that means? And then, how do you respect the black woman? Read The Bluest Eye. I said, brothers, I'm talking to you. They look at the sisters, no, that's for you. Need to read. Because we've overwhelmed them with the superficial notions of what beauty is, never looking inside, always the superficial, external. Sister has to be beautiful. You just have to be paid. We cannot engage in transactional relationships. This leads to absurdity. But then we have to ask ourselves, if what he is saying is true, how then do we best respond to absurdity? Is there a way of getting out of it? Is there a way of mitigating it? Yes, there is. You know what it's called? Black culture, black music particularly. So I've had some professors who love jazz, love blues. I do too. But there's nothing like an African-American spiritual. There's something about the spiritual. It's not just how it's presented, double entendres, metaphors, similes that overwhelm the consciousness. It fractures rationality, and you really don't get it until you've experienced it. This is what we call wisdom. So I tell my students, I said, you're a smart student, but you can't be wise. You haven't failed enough. You need to fail far more. And so I tell them, I said, you know what I was taught growing up in Atlanta with my big mama? Sometimes I am tossed and driven, Lord. Sometimes I don't know where to roam. I heard of a city called heaven, and I started to make it my home. My mother has reached that pure glory. My father's still walking in sin. My brothers and sisters won't owe me because I am trying to get in. Now I said, do you all realize you didn't even catch what the brothers and sisters are saying to you? That encapsulates every aspect of what it means to be a black person in this world. Tossed, driven, never giving up. Tossed, driven. Sometimes I feel homeless, I feel motherless, but I don't stop. Just think about the motherless child. When we say, sometimes I feel like a motherless child, and then the next line comes in, but then I fall down on my knees and I pray. I didn't quit. I didn't stop. I didn't give up. And all of us can attest, this generation, you got to stop breaking. You got to bend and not break. You got to learn how to fall, scrape your knee, hit your head, bang your arms, get up. One of my favorite things is Ralph Waldo Emerson tries to account for the fact that we have failed to invest in us black folk. We have what we need. We're all we need. There's a way for you to understand your future if you merely believe that your reward is being you. Not vicariously through some musical performer, some actor. Sadly, the other day, this rapper guy came to campus. J. Cole, that's the guy's name, right? And I'm walking to my office, and I see a stream of brothers sprinting. I thought it was a fire, some violence on campus. I mean, you all don't understand. 15, 20 guys just running. What's wrong, brother? I'm like, and I'm, regular brother, like, which direction do we run? The opposite direction. Unlike, we make this joke in the black community. I'll leave that one alone. And then they tell me it was J. Cole. And I was still bemiffed, but is he giving money? No. What's the motivation? I gotta see him. He's my favorite. And as a professor, I paused and said, if only you would do this when an intellectual visited campus. If only you'd say, Cornell West is on campus, man. I'm going to. And I said, that was a fleeting dream I had. that being at a college, an intellectual is visiting, and you all would be so excited to see him or her. But I understand. What's the point of this? I understand the need to find value, but it shouldn't be external to oneself. It has to be internal. So Emerson refers to Shakespeare. He refers to Milton. He refers to Plato and says, they sought not the opinions of others, only of their own hearts. That's what I'm trying to push forward. That's what's going to get us over. It is not, with all due respect, in the political figures, the elected officials. It's in you. They exist because you do. And we have to make sure that this is our mode of operation, reminding all public officials, you are here to serve us. We need you to be our mouthpiece. We need you to represent. You should be resonant with our desires, our needs, and our beliefs. And every now and again, they get to turn to you and say, but you're not being hard enough on me. I was slipping the other day. I literally tried to negotiate, and I was expecting you not to let it happen. This is how a democracy must function. It must always be accountable to countervailing voices. The only way we make improvements, it's always looking to be critiqued, to be analyzed. We have been prefigured, many of us, predicated on our social conditions. Many of you think that the way you are today is the way you must be, not accounting for the critical evaluation of how did I get here? What were the social conditions? Why do I love? Why do I not love? We have to do a better job of critiquing and analyzing who we are as human beings. Back to the notion of despair. We cannot allow despair to overwhelm the possibilities that we have through hope. It can't happen this easily. We must say to the world, we're still here. We're still here. It's been over 400 years and you're still here. Now that's the first part. The second part is I'm still here and I will remain here because of what I will put into life. This is what we're going to have to teach. So this is the argument of a professor. How do we do this? We must turn our eyes and ears and minds back towards liberal arts, the humanities. I mean, what good does it do someone to be a billionaire and have a hole in his heart? We know of these people, but where do you go to learn to cultivate your humanity? We have programs. I can learn to do robotics all day long. Where do you go to learn to write a poem? Where do you go to learn how to understand the plight of people unlike yourselves? This is the literature, the sociology, the history, the philosophy, the religion. I tell my students who are business majors, how dare you not study religion when most of the world fundamentally functions under religious sensibilities? So you're going to go to a country not realizing you weren't supposed to shake her hand. You're going to go to another country, you weren't supposed to look him in his eyes. You don't understand this. And it's fundamental to what's going to change this world. You must be attuned to the differences of others. And you must respect those things. This is what you will understand by the notion of democracy being an experiment. You hear this often, intellectuals, democracy is an experiment, because we're trying to make it better. We're constantly experimenting. We're constantly trying to fail. We're constantly saying, might there be a better way to do this? And I don't know it. I don't know what it is, right? The inability to what? My inability to tell you what to do does not mean there's not a way to do it. I need you. We need you. We're trying to somehow figure out how do we sustain life, not for a particular president, but any president. Don't reduce it to this moment. We have to do a better job of being with one another, caring for one another, loving each other, protecting one another, irrespective of who's in that house in DC. So what I want to leave you with is this. How might we become better human beings over time such that the critiques that we make of one another help us solidify a way of being that AI no longer is the sexy thing of the day. It's the individual who understands that to be a human being is to be the best they can be, irrespective of the critique of others. I mean, it's a funny little thing you negotiate. I'm open for critique, but in the same instance, it can't debilitate your ability to move forward. It's really hard for people to be themselves, to be wrong in public. Many of you who've taught, you've seen this, that student who never opens her mouth because she's afraid of being wrong in public. I'm asking you to live this way. Be wrong, because your wrong might be the best right I'll ever see. Thank you.
Happy Black History Month to everybody. We all are history. I'm so grateful to be here. Can I bet? Singing from my heart today, how life can be good, but sometimes not so great. A revolving door of things you thought you could not take. Hold on, just wait. There's some good out there for you. Stay steadfast and stay true. It get better later. The fight of life, don't give up. You're almost at your grade. Suicide ain't an option. Keep going, baby. I know it gets rough lately, but God see your tears. Keep going, don't fear. Life is really what you make it. Stay strong, have faith and pray. Keep going, you make it. Life is worth the living. Joy comes in the morning time. Stay hopeful, you feel it. Your bills are due. Just got grocery and you don't know what to do. Superhero to your kids, they don't know that you're going through. This verse is for you. Trouble don't last always. Trust God and keep the faith. To my silent strugglers, the mental, emotional battle keeps getting tougher and tougher. Consumed by your thoughts, so tired of feeling trouble. I see you, I love you. There's a tribe out there for you. Open your mouth so you can get through. Life is really what you make it. Stay strong, have faith and pray. Keep going, you make it. Life is worth the living. Joy comes in the morning time. Stay hopeful, you feel it. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added unto you. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added unto you. Thank you guys so much.
Wow, that was beyond inspiring. Dr. Davis, thank you for the reminder that our history is our legacy. You set the perfect framework for a century of Black commemorations. And thank you, Bertiska, for sharing your beautiful gift with us. Tonight has been an evening of reflection through the scholars, the leaders, the artists. Our next guests have taken a beloved playground tradition, something many of us grew up watching on the sidewalks of our own neighborhoods, and they're here to show us that history isn't just the past. It keeps us moving, it's alive, it's active. Get ready to jump. Please welcome Sean and Michelle Clark from Double Dutch Aerobics.
All right. Is there a heart in the house tonight? No, I'm just joking. What's going? Don't get me going. Right. So my name is Sean. I'm a master instructor, and this is my wife, my life, Michelle Clark. She is a world champion in double dutch. And okay, thank you. Okay, y'all go ahead. All right. Okay, world champion. Hold on, let me sit back. Okay, all right. So we own a business called Double Dutch Aerobics. So what Double Dutch Aerobics is we do exercises inside the Double Dutch rope, right? So we created this class. There's nothing like it in the world. We own a studio on Bolton Road. It's the first and only Double Dutch Aerobics studio in the world. We certify, okay, good. I'm sorry. I'm just ready to go, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna let her talk. So we certify instructors around the world. So I'm gonna let Michelle tell you what it is.
So yes, we certify instructors. We train them for 18 hours, and then they teach double dutch aerobics. Similar to yoga, Zumba, how people get instructors, our goal is to have instructors everywhere. Because I don't know if y'all know, but when you grew up jumping double dutch, it was either you could or you couldn't. You were born with it or born with it. It was just like, even if you couldn't, it was just like a scar on you. But as Double Dutch Aerobics, we have changed that. Our specialty is that we can teach anybody in less than 1 minute guaranteed. Not maybe, not, my cousin couldn't teach me. I always tell people, you never had an instructor, you never had a master instructor, you never had a world champion teach you. So we created a system where we teach anybody in less than a minute. And that's the only way the sport will live on. Because guess what? We don't have the patience anymore. Y'all remember, I grew up in Brooklyn. We was outside all day, every day. So eventually you were gonna learn because you were outside anyway. Whenever you meet people who jumped double dutch before, they don't know how long it took them to learn because you was outside anyway. Today, they're not outside. We got 3 of them. They're not outside all day, every day. I don't even know where the street light is. So when you teach kids in less than a minute though, they fall in love the same way. So we have to change and adjust with the rest of the world, which means speed it up. And so we're excited to get more certified instructors in the world so that when they teach people in less than a minute, people fall in love with the sport the same way that we did. So, of course, people are like, teach less than a minute? Yeah, right. Well, we're going to prove it to you. We like to start with anyone, and just to let you know, you don't bump into the best every day. So take your moment now. We promise you we can teach you in less than a minute, and we are not available tomorrow. So take your moment. Would anyone like to learn in less than 1 minute? All right.
All right, come on down. You're the next contestant. Come on in. Come on around. All right, here we go. Wait, you look like you grew up jumping. I don't know. Okay, come on, perfect. Oh, your father had a double dutch? Yeah, go on. In New Jersey, okay. Anybody? We're gonna do this. Okay. You want this one? This one. I think this is the one. Don't laugh. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. Ready? All right. I told you. All right, here we go.
So on the count of 3, just start jumping. Yep. Good, a little higher. Yep. Good. Oh, we gotta do it right here. All right. Sorry. The stage is a little.
Y'all clearing out. The front row clearing out. Wait a minute. First of all, y'all like this. Hold on. Let me get on out. All right. So look, here's the thing. So all right. Just one more thing. We designed these ropes so they don't hurt. All right. Then we designed them. All right. Here we go.
Get them on the website. Double-dutchAerobics.com. All right.
Let's see what we can do over here. Let's move over. We're trying to get as much space as we can. Ready? We got limited space up here, y'all, so we working with it.
Keep jumping. Excellent. Good. Let me see the grip. Good. Excellent. Good. Jumping jack. Good. Anybody want to come up here?
One more time. Listen, we're giving out cards. All right, here we go. Trying to put my camera.
Ready? This is not a setup. We have not met him before. We are teaching him right now.
Ready?
Ready?
Move over.
This way.
So jump with me. Ready? 2, 3, let's jump. Jump.
Good. Keep jumping.
Keep going. Good.
Good. One more time. We got to ready? One more time. To hit the chair. Ready? One. You didn't mess up.
There it is.
Good. Keep jumping. Excellent. Yep. 1, 2. Good. Hop on 1 foot high. Go back and forth.
Good job. Good job.
So we're gonna give you a little history of Double Dutch, a little more history. I'm gonna call Sean Jr. up. So there's different styles of Double Dutch. There's street style Double Dutch, BK style, Chi-Town. Yeah, Philadelphia, street style Double Dutch, what we did on the streets. Then there's competitive style Double Dutch, which is what I did also as a kid. Mountain climbs, push-ups, flips, compulsory speed. And then there's Double Dutch aerobics, which is our workout class. Now we do have 3 little humans, and we're gonna show you all of the styles. So, Sean Jr. Oh, that's my baby. That's our baby. Will you show us street style Double Dutch, please? All right, so he's gonna show us street style Double Dutch.
All right, this is what you did in the park. This is what you did out in the streets till the street lights came on. Come on, Maverick, come on out.
So Maverick's gonna show you a floor trick, which is a frog. This is our child frog.
Maverick, you ready? Frogs, okay.
Now, competitive style and Double Dutch aerobics is men and women. Street style, when we grew up, was mostly girls, and mostly black girls, okay? Ready? So here we go. Frog, ready? 1, here we go.
Good.
Good. Excellent. Good. 360. Good. Excellent. Good. And last, we have our daughter, Phoenix. She's going to show you a
Phoenix, come on. Come on, baby
flipping the
girl.
ropes is something we do in our
She loves it. She loves this. All right, here we go. You want to flip?
All right now. So, yeah, flip, wait. Yes, ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, flip. Excellent. Good. Good, mountain climb.
All right, so we got one more person that wants to learn. So we're gonna do one more. Somebody who didn't jump.
Who didn't jump that wants to learn.
Come
We want
on.
to give them a chance.
All right.
But subscribe to the website. You can find us anywhere.
All right, so we're gonna do it. Come on. Here we go. Ready? Excellent.
Yeah, you can face them.
Face them, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, jump!
Jumping.
Jump!
Good. Keep jumping.
Keep jumping.
Keep jumping. Keep jumping. Keep jumping. Good. Move back. Good. Let me see a crisscross. Cross, open. Cross, open. Cross. Good. Let me see a jumping jack. Jumping jack. Good. Good listening. Good. Yes.
All right.
So you see the joy when they learn in less than a minute, right? So that's what Double Dutch Aerobics is about.
All right, so once again, we are Sean and Michelle, owners of Double Dutch Aerobics. If you guys are interested, you can just follow us at Double Dutch Aerobics. We're Double Dutch Aerobics everything.
Yes, and
Everything.
last thing, because it is Black History Month, we were told, we've been in business 13 years. Y'all know how crazy people thought we were when we said we were turning Double Dutch into a business, right? Now we do it 24 hours a day. We travel the world with it. So whatever is in your heart, do it. Even if everybody think you crazy, okay? Do it anyway. Because if you commit to it and work hard, then it will come true. So that's Double Dutch Aerobics.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
What a remarkable night this has been, don't you all agree? Let's give a huge, huge round of applause to Chairwoman Nicole Love Hendrickson, our Board of Commissioners, Dr. Ilya Davis, and our incredible performers. Before our final celebration, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the community that made this possible. A huge thank you to our partners, exhibitors, vendors, sponsors, and of course, Gwinnett County Public School students for their artwork. And we cannot forget our volunteers. You see the amazing green shirts that they have on? Give them a round of applause. And of course, my team, Aisha, Andres, Edsel, Havana, Janai, Joven, Kelly, Kiera, Logan, and Terrence. Thank you. And most importantly, thank you all for joining us tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause.